Yo, what's going on, guys? This is David. Welcome back to the channel. As always, remember to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I would really appreciate it. Helps the channel grow. And we have one rule here. I'm not a financial advisor. Do your own research. I am not a financial advisor. So hey, look, we just coming in for a little Sunday morning stock talk. Got things set up a little bit different today, so we're gonna go to class a little bit and switch things up today. So I'll just give it a few seconds here. Wanted to jump on before the games come on because it's championship Sunday and the winners of the games today they head into the Super Bowl. So I know how things going to be a little bit later on, but if you guys are like me, I'm excited about this market right now. So I thought we had a pretty solid week in the market. It's earnings. It's time for companies to report their fourth quarter earnings. So during this time, you're going to see a lot of jumps in the market with these stocks and big price movements. I think we saw a little bit with Tesla last week. So we're gonna touch on that to see where you guys are. We're gonna hit a couple of topics. So we're gonna jump right in here and bear with me here. Let's get started here. I'm not gonna hold you guys long today. Just a little Sunday morning stock talk to start your day off. And let's see here. We're gonna jump right off with the Dow Jones, right? So on Friday, you see the Dow Jones was we'll call that even, up 60 points on the day, but the Dow is up over 38K. Over 38K right now. In the last week, pretty even, up 43, and then year to date, the Dow is up 1%, 394 points already this year so far. So January has gotten off to a pretty good start. You see how the chart is going here. Like I said, we up over 38K. Signs looking good right now with the market. I'm excited for sure. Let's take a look at the S&P. S&P was actually down. You call that even, right? Only down 3 points on Friday. Making that push to 4,900. We have 48,890 right now. You see over the last week, the S&P was up 24. And year to date, already the S&P is up 3%. Savings account, you probably won't get that in a year, right? But the S&P, if you just invest in the S&P alone right now, you're up 3%. Well, the S&P is up 3% so far for the year. We're not even a month in to the year, and we're already up 3% on the S&P. So that's why you see a lot of investors, new investors especially, they go to the ETFs. They say they're going to invest in the S&P because that's just a safe way to go in regards to how to invest, especially for beginning investors. So that's why you hear the VOO a lot, the SPY and things like that, because it's just the safest way, honestly, to invest, because the S&P has proven time and time again that it's going to go up eventually, right? So over the last year, you see the S&P is up 21%, 873 points just over the last year. And over the last 5 years, you see the S&P is up 80%. So why wouldn't you want to invest long-term into the S&P if you see that it's up 80% over the last 5 years, right? So that's just a no-brainer that you should, if you're investing in anything, you should be investing in the S&P. It's not, you don't have to pick out individual stocks and go through the hassle. You invest your money into the S&P, invest long-term, invest often, and you will see a positive return on your money. It's almost guaranteed, right? So over the last 5 years, S&P is up 80%. Year to date is already up 3%. So before I jump into the NASDAQ, one of the ETFs for the S&P, if you want to invest in the S&P, is VOO. VOO trading at 448.23. Don't be scared by the dollar amount, right? You can invest on most platforms, about $1. So if you only have 10, 15, 20, $100 to invest, you can, buy partial shares. And you see the year-to-date VOO running simultaneously with the S&P up 3% over the last year, 21%, just like what we saw with the S&P over the last 5 years, almost exactly the same, right? It up 80%. So if you're wondering how to invest in the S&P to get that return, VOO, ticker symbol VOO. You can invest in VOO, and that's basically following the S&P and, invest long term. And it's kind of a no-brainer. It's a win-win situation. You see what's going on in the last 5 years, and you have to think long term, invest often, and you'll see the returns over time. Lisa, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. So let's look at the NASDAQ. NASDAQ was down on Friday, 55, not bad. Last 5 days, it's been up 22. We can call that even. And year to date so far, the NASDAQ is up 4%, 689 points. So, that's just a brief rundown of the Dow, S&P, NASDAQ so far year to date. To me, the markets are looking strong. It's been a nice start to 2024 so far. So I hope you guys are staying intact with your investment strategies and, and your goals that you set out at the beginning of the year. So, and we're going to touch on that. In just a second here. So Daryl said, I kind of changed my strategy. I will do 20 a day VTI, then buy Tesla on dips, hold buying power for long calls like a year. Okay, but waiting until market crash. But will the market crash though? That's a good question. Will the market crash? I'm not so sure. They thought, I was hearing all last year that the S&P was going to go down to 3,200, this, that, and the third, and here we are. We're pushing on the doorsteps of 5K now. So, but I do like your strategy. Definitely holding that buying power. For the long calls. But the leap options looks like, and but I don't know, that market crash, a correction, yeah, for sure. That's that can happen definitely for sure. Well, yeah. So speaking of Tesla, we saw that Tesla had some earnings last week, and it didn't go quite how they expected. The market didn't take too kindly of Tesla's earnings report, and you saw a dip in Tesla. So my question is Tesla a buy right now? Is it time to start buying Tesla? And I don't want to say yeah, I don't want to say no. Could we see? I've talked to some people who said they think Tesla's going to go down even more. But this may be a good time to start DCAing into Tesla, right? See, over the last month, you see that Tesla's down 27%, trading right now at $183.25. Not too long ago, it was in the 220s, 230s, 240s, and people thought it was going to take off. Well, here we are. Here's definitely a correction in Tesla, or you might can call it a crash, right? Down 27% in the last month. Down, trading at 183.25. So what do you plan on doing right now? Is this a buying opportunity for you in Tesla, or are you waiting for it to go further? Is it time to DCA? Is it time to load the boat right now at these prices? I'm not sure. Me, I'm actually buying. I bought a little bit of Tesla, I think, last week. I'm going to keep buying some more. I don't have a lot of shares. That's, after I reach my Apple goal, I'm going to focus my attention onto Tesla to try to increase my Tesla position for sure. So, but man, down 27%. It's traded at $183. Could go down further. We saw it, right after the earnings, it definitely went down quite a bit. And I think it got into the 170s, the high 170s at one point. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I think Tesla has some more room to come down, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you're a chart guru. You may have a better take on it. You know, I've seen some people say it may come down in the 160s, 150s, or we may be at the bottom and it may shoot back up. So I'm not quite sure. I'll be keeping my eye on it, but I did buy some Tesla last week, and I'm gonna be looking to add. I'm gonna start DCAing for sure. I don't know what type of schedule I'm gonna be on, but I'm gonna definitely. I think it's a time to buy Tesla for myself for sure. So yeah, that's where we at. So that's the first topic I wanted to hit. The second topic, you know, I went into my Fidelity account. I pulled out a couple of portfolios. I have, I think, about 5 or 6 Fidelity portfolios. And what I wanted to do is do a quick portfolio challenge and let you guys tell me what you think about these 2 current portfolios, and then share your portfolio of what you have maybe in one portfolio and what you invested in, and how's it going so far. So let me give me 1 second here. Well, here I call this a portfolio battle, right? So these are 2 of my portfolios from Fidelity that I currently have, and you see that the last trading price and what it did on Friday. I'm not sure if you can see in the corner, that's CONY. That's a yield max for the Coinbase. So that's what's in the bottom left corner. I'm not sure if my picture's in the way, but this is 2 of my portfolios that I have in Fidelity. So let me know what you think. So on portfolio 1, I have JetQ trading at $51 right now. I have the Berkshire B. I wish I had the big Berkshire, but I'll roll with the Berkshire, the BRKB. I have the SMH, which is the semiconductor ETF. I have the SPY. Then I have Waste Management. Then I have SCHG. And then, like I said, I have the yield max of CONY, which is the yield max that follows Coinbase. And then portfolio 2, have NVIDIA, Meta, FX, AIX. And I have the yield max that follows NVIDIA, NVDY. Then I have McDonald's, I have United Health, and I have Shopify. So this is kind of how I like to build my portfolios, right? I want to have a strong ETF or index fund. I want to try to have 2, but definitely 1. Then I want to have some growth stocks, and then I want to have some proven positions that stood the test of time, and then I want to have maybe I take my risk on the yield max, right? I'll admit in portfolio 1 I'm down on the Coinbase. But I think I caught it at the high, and Coinbase has pulled back a little bit, so that's kind of affected my my position in CONY. I haven't even been in it a month, but I saw the distribution, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna give it a shot just to see how it goes. But as you see, the majority of my portfolios are with strong proven positions. And even with the NVDY in portfolio 2, the yield max for NVIDIA, I'm actually up on that and getting a nice, monthly dividend as well. So what do you guys think? If you had to choose between one or the other, would you go with portfolio 1 or portfolio 2? I actually like them both. Like I say, it's taken a while for me to kind of get my strategy down. Sometimes it takes a year, 2 years, or just the trial and error to kind of get your foot in on what you like. So Daryl says, good portfolio. I have VTI. I also have VTI in another portfolio. So VTI, Google, Apple in my Raw. Want to add Coke, Pepsi, and Starbucks. These 3 alone get you a dividend every month. Yep. So all those positions, right, are strong. Like strong. You have ETFs. You have REIT and O that's going to give you monthly income for sure. Google and Apple. What more you have to say about that? And then Coke, Pepsi, Starbucks, strong dividend positions. So yeah, you can't go wrong. Like even when you have pullbacks or corrections, like those positions is, will be positions that you want to add to when there's a pullback. So I like that, man. It took me a while to really understand how to build a strong portfolio. Lisa asked Daryl, do you invest in Maine or O? Me personally, I have Maine. I like Maine. I've had O at one point before, but I have Maine in my Robinhood portfolio. So, I like good REITs as well. So, and O's pulled back into some really nice price ranges. So, loading the boat on O, I think for long term is definitely good. There, it's just O. Yep. So I have Maine, but I like both. I like Maine and O. So, yep. But yeah, these are, and then on the next live, I'll come with 2 other portfolios. But these are just 2 of my 2 Fidelity portfolios that I have. Percentage wise, I'm up on portfolio 2, but portfolio 1 has more cash in it, and I will be up pretty good on portfolio 1. It's just like I said, the coin over the last couple of weeks, it just kind of pulled back on me. But the last few dividends, if I'm not mistaken, in coin have been like over $2, 2.5 or 2.6 last month. So I was like, let me give it a shot. Let me see what it's going to be. Usually when I jump into the high yield max, the dividend just shoots down the next month. That's just how the luck that I have. But I'm okay with that, because even with these portfolios, I think they're strong enough to handle a pullback in a position. Lisa says portfolio 2. Yeah, like I said, percentage wise, man, portfolio 2 is jumping out the gym right now. I'm not gonna lie. And with the recent performance of Nvidia and Meta, is really no comparison right now. But I do like JEPQ. When JEPQ and JEPI, came about, I bought both just to kind of see. But now I've transferred most of my positions into JEPQ, and I don't even have JEPI right now. So JEPQ has proven to be a strong position, a strong ETF, and I'm gonna ride with that. I actually have JEPQ in a couple of my accounts. So they pay a pretty strong dividend every month. That's monthly income. So I like monthly income from a position that's not going to lose a lot in value, and that's kind of right up my alley. So JEPQ pays monthly. The coin CONY pays monthly. The rest that actually pay on portfolio 1, if they do pay, it's going to be on the quarterly, I believe. And then you jump over to portfolio 2, the NVDY pays monthly, and I think that's the only monthly dividend position over there. But it's filled with strong positions that I like. So I actually like portfolio 2 better as well. So yep, that would be my pick. But I like both. I'm getting a good solid return on both. And like I say, you build it up with some strong ETFs, some solid proven stock positions, and you can take a chance on a high yield dividend or high yield max if you want to add that income, that monthly income or that quarterly income. And so that's what I did, and that's kind of the strategy that I'm using for all my portfolios now. No more than 7, 8 positions, probably at the max, and choosing quality over quantity. That's my goal right now. So, but yeah, let's take a look at the next topic. So I want to touch on that, and we'll have another portfolio challenge next week, or maybe you guys can send me your portfolios and we can talk about that, what you're invested in. So yeah, next we have fourth quarter earnings coming up, and I got Tesla highlighted in red because Tesla reported, and we saw how that went. But what first of all, do you follow the earnings report? Actually, on my job, I have to actually listen into our competitors' earnings, the companies that are public. So I've kind of gotten in the habit to listening into earnings calls and what to listen for, and kind of break it down a little bit. Like I said, if you can't see the bottom one, it's Tesla that's in red. But upcoming fourth quarter earnings, you have Apple, Amazon, Google, Meta, Microsoft, AMD, Nvidia. So are you guys investing in these positions, or is it a particular position in your portfolio that that you're wanting to see how they performed in the fourth quarter? So Daryl says I follow earnings. It's not how the stocks move, but it's possible to do an option. Cool. So you play options. You do the options during earnings. Okay. How does that work for you? Is it kind of risky for you, or you've done it pretty well? So you want to get in NVIDIA? Hey, jump in. Hey, I don't know what's going. Man, NVIDIA is crazy right now, man. I don't know if it's going to keep shooting up. If it's going to do a split. I can tell you one position that I'm waiting to split, and that's Microsoft. Once Microsoft splits, I know value doesn't change, blase, but yeah, I'm waiting on that. I have almost 15 shares of Microsoft, and I just want a 5-to-1 split. I 10-to-1 is probably pushing it, but Apple, I think I started off with about 12 or 13 shares of Apple. Then it did a 4-to-1, 5-to-1 split a couple of years ago, and now I'm on try to get to 100 shares. I'll be at 100 shares soon, and I'll show you that a little bit later. So it's kind of risky. I wish I got an NVIDIA when it was 50, but yeah, here we are. Yeah, trust me. I think we all wish we would have got NVIDIA back then. So my NVIDIA position is up like 50 or 60%, and I just wish, but I don't have a lot of money. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I wish I just had more money in it, and that's why on that portfolio too is why it's just way up, because the what NVIDIA's done lately is it's been insane. Not lately, just overall. It's just been insane. So, but I'm waiting on Apple myself. I want to see how the market reacts to Apple's earnings. Of course, Amazon, Google, all of them, right? I'm investing in all these positions, honestly. Not in the same account. I do have Apple, Amazon, Google in the same account because that's kind of where I started investing. So I put all those in one account. But I have all these positions, and I'm hoping, that they all do well. I never root for bad earnings, man. It's just not in it. Even though you want pullbacks in some of these companies, I don't see how you can root for a company that you're investing in to do bad. So let's see. Your Apple position is motivation, no lie. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's gonna be my next thing here. So I'm not gonna hold you guys too long on this Sunday. Gonna jump back in here. So to end things off, right? This is accountability check. How's your daily, weekly, monthly investing challenges going so far in 2024? Have you guys been sticking to the plan, or have you fallen off the boat a little bit? I know some like to do a day challenge, $5 a day, $10 a day, $15, $20 a day. Are you sticking to that challenge, or have you kind of fallen off the boat a little bit? My challenge, as I mentioned, man, 100 shares of Apple. That's my goal. So that's where I'm looking to get. And but I know a lot of people have their own challenges. You know what I'm saying? Daily, weekly, monthly. So how's your investing challenge going so far? So are you sticking to it? Is there some changes you need to make? Sometimes life happens, and here we go. You have to make some adjustments. So, but I want to give you an update. I'm gonna end it after this. I'm gonna give you an update on my investing challenge, which is the road to 100 shares. And let me see here. Let me see if I can pull this up just to let you guys know where I stand, because I got to hold myself accountable. If I say I want to have 100 shares of Apple, I have to stick to the plan that I set for. So let's pull it up here and let's give an update. And as you see here is the update on my Apple road to 100 shares. And you see over the last week, I think I just made 2 purchases, the $25 purchase and basically a $10 purchase. So you see, we started off with 91 shares in December, 91.357 shares. And so far in this challenge, we have added 1.647, 1.6 shares of Apple. So now we're sitting at 93 shares of Apple. So we started at 91.4, sitting at 93 shares. So the total dollars we've invested in the Apple challenge so far is $310. And that's how much I've invested from December 27th to this past week. So you see the dates I made my purchase, you see the dollar amounts, you see the shares that I purchased, and you see where I'm sitting at currently. And we just hit 93 shares. So 93.004. So we are less than 7 shares away from our goal of 100 shares of Apple. So that's where I'm at right now. And I think I can get there. I want to get there first quarter, but if not, definitely second or third quarter, we're going to get there. So, Apple's not cheap. I wish I could have caught it on when it pulled back heavy, but Apple is just, man, Apple is Apple is Apple, man. So we're at 93 shares. We're 7 shares away. 7 shares away. We started the challenge at 91.357 shares. Now we're at 93 shares. So like I say, man, I started buying Apple back. My first purchase of Apple was probably in 2016, and I just bought a few shares, man, probably like 11 or 12 shares to start. And over time, like I said, you have stock splits, and then you start learning about selling covered calls. It's like, man, what if I just had 100 shares of Apple? Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I had 6 shares. I bought 10 shares of Google and Amazon back in 2016. Over time, I had sold some, had to pay some stuff off. So I was at 6 shares when they did the 20-to-1 split. So that put me at 120 shares of Google and Amazon. So now I could sell cover calls on, right? And I didn't know that they was going to split when I bought it, but hey, that's what happened. So now we're with the split of Apple. I think they had put me at about 70 some shares, and from there I just been it's been a slow grind, and now we're sitting at 93 shares of Apple, almost at 100 shares. So yeah. So let me see. Daryl says, I want a journey to 100 shares of Apple and Google, but they are high right now. Yeah, I'm sticking with VTI and try to add 200, 250. We can buy in power, but minimum 100 for VTI and 20 a day. Okay, yeah, that's nothing wrong with that. At least it says automatic. $5 in Apple, $10 in VTI daily. Yep. So hey, long as we're sticking to our challenges, man, we're going to hit our goals, because the market's proven itself over time, and we're going to get there. Whatever goals we have, whatever challenges you stick to them, it's going to pay off over time. So I'm not even worried about that. Those are some great challenges to have. I need to do a daily challenge, man. That's yeah. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that eventually. I'm gonna get to that $5, $10 a day in a position. And my problem is I want to add to so many positions, man. I just kind of I'll be all over the place. But right now, I know that this 100 shares of Apple is just top priority right now. So I'm not going to stop until I get there. So we've been in just over a month. We've invested. I mean, we're right at a month, right? 12/27 was the date of the first purchase of the challenge. That was just $10, and now we're sitting a month later, and we put $310 into the challenge. So, like I said, Apple is high. That's only got me 1.6 shares, but hey, that's more than what I probably would have had if I hadn't done this challenge. So 93 shares right now is a good place to be. Hopefully, when we come next month, by the time we're talking next month, I'll be sitting at 94 or maybe 95 shares of Apple. You know what I mean? So, and a lot of those, purchases are funded by Google and Amazon cover calls that I'm doing. So, so if I can get some more plays, or just add some more to the account, the Apple purchases are going to continue, and we're going to get to 100 shares. So, But yeah, that's it, man. That's it. I don't want to hold you guys. You know, like I said, it's Championship Sunday. Just wanted to give you an update on what's going on. Talk a little bit about some stocks on this Sunday morning. And you know, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Remember, as always, to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I appreciate you guys dropping some comments and chit chatting, because that's what this channel is all about. Just some chit chat about some stocks and what you guys are doing. Maybe run some ideas across you know. It's been a couple of times, you know, I showed you the portfolio one. Well, it's a position in there that, you know, it was a recommendation that somebody made on Twitter. And so, you know, and I added to the portfolio. I liked it. So Daryl says, go Ravens. Hey, I'm rooting for the Ravens and the Lions. And that's crazy because I was a diehard 49ers fan growing up. But I want to see the Ravens and the Lions in the Super Bowl, and I think it's going to happen. The Lions are going to upset the 49ers. The Ravens are going to be too strong with too strong for the Chiefs, I believe. So there's I'm locked in with notification on this channel and Lisa J. Man, Lisa J's channel is amazing, man. So she's amazing. I love listening to her. And you know, I appreciate you, Daryl, for the support. But Lisa's dope, man. Lisa's dope. You know, it's a lot of good channels out there. A lot of good channels to listen to, man. Trading Trucker says, go Lions. Yeah, man. Yeah. The Lions are it's going to be an upset today. It's going to be an upset today. The Lions are going to shock the 49ers. The Ravens are going to be too tough for the Chiefs. And you're going to have a Ravens versus 49ers Super Bowl. I'm sorry, Ravens versus Lions Super Bowl. I'm calling it right now. But yeah, man, remember to like, share, subscribe. Share this video. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. And I'll hit you guys next time. Go Ravens.